In my personal life, I have become very, very friendly with change. As a child, there was several moments where we moved, new schools. I mean, at several different points of my childhood, I was actually changing schools a lot. And then tack on when I moved after high school, I immediately moved out of the house. I moved to Kauai. Then from there, I moved to Oahu. From there, I moved to New York City. I moved to Paris. I moved back to New York, in Las Vegas. Like, I have lived in several parts of the world, and that's outside of just traveling a shit ton in my life. I have traveled a lot. I just got back from Italy, most incredible time. I mean, Europe is always a fucking good time to me. Italy was extraordinary. And so I have told career change is, I have experienced change at a very, very high level, probably compared to most. And it has been the greatest thing for me because I love familiarity. I love secure comfort. I love routine, even. I have a very routine based life, very ritualistic, but routines as well. So I do like the stability in that. However, I am absolutely a psychologically flexible individual, being that I've had so much change in my life, some that wasn't my choice from childhood and a lot that was. And it just it's this constant. First of all, I think it's so healthy for your brain, right? When we're when we are experiencing new experiences, new people, new food, new environments, new places, new stimulus, it's new information for our brain. And our brain actually does like that. Our nervous system might have a hard time with some of it, but our brain actually does like it. It keeps the brain from aging. Like, I don't want to get too deep on the science here, but the person who's not ever fucking experiencing new things, it's like a muscle, right? The brain, it just atrophies. So because a new stimulus is going to invite us to think new things, to feel new things. It's a new experience. And so I think it's so important to constantly, in whether it's a small or sometimes big ways, invite change into your life. That's outside of the fact that your life is going to be changing no matter what. Like, whether you are going to go along with it or not, all of our lives are constantly changing. And this is why I think the person who becomes comfortable with that is the person who is more resilient and could go a lot farther in life. Because the person who embraces change is the person who's less likely to sabotage opportunities in their life for growth, opportunities that help them thrive, opportunities that evolve them in meaningful ways, right? So this could be career opportunities, relationship opportunities, experiential opportunities, like adventures, like saying yes to something that you'd never do or you never have done before, but in doing this thing, you fucking learn something new that changes your life. I mean, this is how we're going to create a life that's more robust, that's more inspiring, that's more fucking interesting. It's by being someone who accepts and embraces and even provokes more change. I love experiencing change. I love experiencing myself changing, growth. Like, I just had a birthday and it's a new year, and it's really the truest new year, in my opinion. And it's got me so inspired to want to experience more of myself. Like, there's always this future self is a big part of the conversation with me always, right? And our future self is always, it's showing up before our nervous system is ready to become one with it, right? We have to build our way into this future. And I'm talking about the greater future version of yourself, right? Because your future self could be a lot of things, but I'm talking about this sort of next level version of you. And hopefully you have an idea around the person that you want to evolve into. And if you don't, well, you can go check out the several episodes that I've done so far on the importance of your future self and how you create a relationship with your future self and who is your future self, all of that. But your future self is going to show up before your nervous system has fully acclimated as that expression of you, that part of your identity, right? That's the work, is to build your way into this version of you. And the only way that we can actually do that is to allow ourselves to be comfortable with the discomfort that comes with that process of change, right? So right now in my life, going over, starting this new year of life and me having a very, very deep relationship with my future self, there's a part of me that's so eager and excited because I can feel that connection. I can see this sort of expanded expression of who I am, right? And I can feel the it's like this. I'm coming into her right now, but the coming into her is requiring some change. And a lot of times change in this regard, in this place where I'm talking about right now, is it's letting go of things that aren't or can no longer be, so that what is and what belongs can, right? So it's more shedding than it is adding something new. But the shedding is fucking change. And that, a lot of times, that kind of change can be really uncomfortable because you're letting go of, something that's been very familiar to you. But when you know that it's time to let shit go and to make that change, whether it's a relationship, whether it's parts of yourself, whether it's work, whatever it is, it's your fucking duty to let it go and to let yourself grow, right? We can't grow without being accepting of change. And I want you to grow continuously into the greater and greater expressions of yourself. I mean, to me, this is how we create a life that feels so delicious and so satisfying, because we're always sort of meeting these new parts of ourself, experiencing, new parts of our identity, therefore our lives. And this is what keeps life so inspiring and interesting. And this is also what keeps you a very interesting person. You're a curious person. You are a flexible person. The person who can move with change is someone who can talk about a lot more things in life, versus a person who just stays in one lane the whole time. So I know that change is scary. I know that it could be very challenging for a lot of different reasons, obviously, depending on what is being, shifted, right? If you're getting over a relationship, I understand how fucking hard that could be for so many reasons. If you're starting a new career life, I understand how challenging that could be. I mean, I understand if you're trying to develop new habits, maybe around your health or your money, relationships, just friendships, it's all, none of it is necessarily easy, but all of it plays a very important role in your life. You're allowing yourself to evolve, to create a life that you're proud of, to create a version of you that is constantly inspiring yourself. You want to be inspired by yourself. You want to be able to look at, if you're lucky and you get to look back at your life before your last breath, you definitely want to be someone who can look back and say that throughout your life, you continuously inspired yourself as you were growing, right? You were in inspiration, you were in spirit with yourself as you were evolving and allowing yourself and supporting yourself to grow.